Hi, I'm Tessa Gottman-Bach, and I'm a member of the Phoenix Symphony. In general, start slowly and early in the process. As soon as you get your music, and the rule of thumb is if you can't play it slowly, you can't play it quickly. Practice performing often, no stopping. It's the best way to simulate a performance. Play for a friend, play for a parent, play for your teacher. Ask yourself for each excerpt, what is the objective? And make sure you are doing that. Is the excerpt focusing on sound? Is the excerpt focusing on rhythm? Is the excerpt focusing on varied style or intonation? And always, it's better to play a little bit slower and under tempo rather than slop through anything. And try not to pick a tempo that's unmanageable for you. It's better to play a little bit slower. And lastly, in the audition, take your time between each excerpt to pick your tempo in your head and feel prepared for the very first note. I wish you best of luck. For excerpt 1, make sure you have a beautiful sound the entire time, from frog to tip of the bow. You're going to want to think about long lines, and you'll want to observe the phrasing and dynamic markings very carefully, and make sure that they're heard when you play them. For excerpt 2, the Haydn, you'll want to observe the character changes. One is sort of elegant and soft and quiet, and the other one is dramatic and loud. And you'll want to make sure you have good pitch and rhythm, and that you are subdividing the dotted eighth notes. And you'll want to make sure you're really doing the dynamics in this excerpt. For excerpt 3, the Mendelssohn, you're going to have two characters. The 16th notes are rather intense and loud, and you'll want to shape those by using more bow when the notes go up and less bow when the notes come down. And then measures 230 through 235 are very lyrical, even though they're fortissimo, and so you want to make sure that you're really singing through all of those notes. It's the main theme of the overture. With this excerpt, you want to make sure you have very steady rhythm and that you are observing the quarter note equals 100 and that it's not too fast so that we can hear every note. For excerpt 4, the Brahms Symphony No. 3, this is the most complex excerpt. You want to have a beautiful sound despite the shifting being very difficult, and it's very passionate and intense, but you want to make sure that you still have a beautiful sound and that you're singing all the way through. Focus on your intonation in this one, and make sure that you are really observing those phrase markings, even if they're in an awkward spot in the measure. And also to observe the sforzandos, just all of the details that are on the page that are not the notes and the rhythms. And lastly, for excerpt 5, the Tchaikovsky, you want to make sure you're not playing this one too fast so that we can't hear all of the notes, and that you pick a tempo and stick to that tempo from start to finish, that you're not rushing or dragging at all. And you'll want to make sure that you practice this with rhythms in your left hand as well as your right hand and different bowing patterns, just to get your fingers nice and even. Watch your intonation in the last 2 lines in measures 12, 13, 14, and 15, as it's kind of difficult way up and high in the violin.